And we are live here on X and YouTube right now doing a little state of the Yankees. I haven't been live in a little bit of time, so I figured it'd be time to go live. Let me just post this on Facebook. Live now on just getting the link. So welcome. If you are new, welcome to Yankees Content Central. So I try and do this every couple of days. It's been a little truncated over the past few due to the holidays and family things going on here, but I wanted to carve out some time to do a live stream right now. So I am doing one, and yeah. So right now, not much going on in Yankee land. Obviously, Gleyber Torres has departed for the Detroit Tigers on a 1-year, $15 million deal. Good for Gleyber. I mean, he's kind of been there forever with the Yankees. He got traded in the Chapman trade in 2016 from the Cubs to the Yankees when the Yankees sent Chapman to the Cubs to send them on their World Series run. And Torres was kind of, a staple Yankees baseball. Came up in late 2017 that year, got hurt immediately, and then, came up back in spring training in 2018, won the job, and been the Gleyber Torres we knew and loved. And, there were bumps in the road. I'm not going to sit here and lie and pretend that Gleyber Torres was the best baseball player, the best second baseman in Major League Baseball. He wasn't. I know it. We all know it. It's still sentimental to see a guy like that who, for fans of a certain age, and I include myself in that age, I watched him grow up. I watched him as a kid grow up in pinstripes. I watched him come up. I remember when he came up. I remember him hitting his first home run. I remember him hitting the walk-off against Cleveland in that crazy ninth inning, the home run that no one thought was going to get out. I remember Gleyber Torres. And, to see him walk, to see the way in which he walked, and to see, that Brian Hoke tweet, which I'm going to get up here in a second, that he really, the Yankees never spoke to him. I'm getting a tweet that Steve Cohen just deactivated his Twitter account. Okay. Well, I'm not a Mets fan. I am going to talk about some other moves around baseball and how they're going to affect the Yankees. I am going to bring that up today. Since there is not a whole shit ton of things to really talk about in Yankee land right now. Obviously, we're waiting. Are we going to get a second baseman or a second baseman or a third baseman, or what the story is there? Obviously, all Yankee fans are waiting for that, and as am I, because I would love to know what the next move is. I am eagerly waiting. I am not a Cashman person whatsoever. I personally don't like everything the guy has done in his tenure, and that's fine. Guys can make mistakes. I'm okay with that. I'm a person, I make mistakes as well. But Brian Cashman has definitely, yeah. I think Brian Cashman couldn't bring back Gleyber. I think he just could not do it. And that's okay. That is totally okay that he just couldn't do it. So this is the tweet from Brian Hoke. You see this? I think we could see this. This is the tweet from Brian Hoke that I'm going to take the overlay off. Right? Oh, okay. I could do that. That's better. Okay. Gleyber Torres said that he never received an offer from the Yankees. He really didn't talk to them after the World Series had ended, which is kind of telling of how this was going to go. He got phone calls from lots of other teams, none of it which were the Yankees, which we all probably knew on the inside he was probably never coming back. It was really made clear to us as fans that Glaber's time, unfortunately, in New York had ended. I mean, look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I loved him. He was a fantastic Yankee. He did very well here in his time in pinstripes. I'm not going to pretend. I know he wasn't perfect. I know there were issues. His defense was awful until the second half of this season when he got benched against Toronto. He, as a hitter, was awful. His game was awful. It was awful. But he's going to a place that, you hear from Gary Sanchez a lot. He would say that playing for the Yankees is like a 162 game playoff, and then you have to go to the playoffs. That's better. Playing for the Yankees is like a 162 game playoff, and that's the truth. I'm happy that Glaber now can be in a place where he's going to thrive. He is going to thrive in. Wait, this is the whole. He is going to thrive in Detroit. He really is. He's going to be outstanding in Detroit. And I'm really excited for him in Detroit. I think he's going to be really, really good for them. And I hope so too. I hold nothing against Gleyber Torres at all. And I just wish him nothing but the best. Unfortunately, the Yankees have other needs. What were the things that killed them in that World Series? The defense killed them. What was he not strong in defense? I know we don't have a leadoff hitter. I'm going to talk about options for leadoff in just a second here. He was a great leadoff hitter. He wasn't really great anywhere else that we needed him. He wasn't really fantastic at defense at all. He was kind of bad. Yeah, he was bad on defense. He wasn't great on really anything else with that stuff. And that's where it kind of fell short for everyone. Where it's like, okay, we have this fantastic player who's amazing in Gleyber Torres, but it's like it was like scary for us fans. And it's like this isn't what we want. We want good defense. We want solid offense out of whatever position it's going to be. Excuse me. And unfortunately, Gleyber wasn't giving us that. Hopefully the audio gets better. And Gleyber just wasn't giving us that right. He was great. He was good, not great. So now we're looking towards other options here, as I spent 8 minutes talking about Gleyber Torres and him going to the Dodgers. I mean, not the Dodgers. Oh my God, the Tigers, because I have the thing at the bottom. So other moves around baseball. Teoscar Hernandez unshockingly goes back to the Dodgers on a 3-year deal. Burns got dealt in the middle of the night to the Diamondbacks. Middle of the night for me. Kind of early in the night for most people, but normally I'd be awake. I was asleep. As I mentioned, family stuff going on. Torres to the Tigers, obviously. Yankee moves. The Yankees have been quiet. They made a signing the other day that's yet to be announced. I think I posted the tweet on my Instagram story. Let me see if I've retweeted it. Normally I do, but let's see. In the future, I always use my Instagram story, so if you're not following me on Instagram, please follow me at Yankees Content Central. I normally post things on X as well. Okay, so let's talk about some good. Paul Goldschmidt turned down other offers that were more than the $12 million the Yankees gave him per Heyman. That is fantastic. That is awesome. Why? Because the Yankees needed someone that wants to be here. Not as just, oh, whatever, fun, Yankees, woo. He wants to be here if he took less money to come here. Either that or the Judge effect is really real, which is also, a possibility. I'm not going to rule that Judge called him up and was like, yo, we kind of need you here. Come ball out with us for a year. There's also the factor of he said himself, he wants to win. This could be his last shot at winning, and he wants to do it with New York. St. Louis. Michael K mentioned it on Hot Stove, which I'll kind of get into in a second as well. In fact, I'll put up the my Hot Stove notes in the next screen in a second. K kind of went into it a little bit. I didn't like that K got into it a little bit. I found it kind of, in my taste, unprofessional. That K and Curry not as much, but definitely Michael K went into this and kind of pretty much said that the Tigers aren't not the Tigers, the Cardinals aren't competing, and the situation got bad there, and that might be why we saw such a drop off from Goldschmidt. And I just, when they're on that platform, they're representing the Yankees. I don't want other teams to be like, hey, the Yankees think that the Cardinals are just punting. Now, I can comment on here because this is not affiliated with the Yankees. This is affiliated with myself, and say, the Cardinals suck. I'll say it. The Cardinals fucking sucked for most of last year. They were awful for like 90% of last season. They had like a week of good and like multiple weeks of awful. The 1 week of good was probably the week they were at Yankee Stadium. They had the awesome Wells 2 home run game and then won the next 2 games because Marcus Stroman and Nestor Cortez couldn't throw pitches over home plate. So yeah, this is a big thing right now. I think that the fact that they are saying these things, I'm pulling up right now what was specifically said on the Hot Stove. Just give me a second here. So this is what was said on the Hot Stove the other night. They said Alex Bregman is not a route that they want to go. Obviously, I don't expect Labor to return. We now know he didn't return, so that proved true. Alex Bregman's not a route they want to go. I totally agree with that. And he said they're not in on Arenado. So someone actually excuse me, I'm sorry. Someone actually commented back to me, is like, well, who else is there? I'm like, trades. There are trades. One of the big ones I keep seeing Yankee fans speculate about is a trade for actually is not a trade, it's a free agent signing. I could see two. Number one, no matter where you put Jazz, he's gonna ball out. That's just that's more of Jazz wanting to be Jazz. Jazz wants to be here. He's kind of made that very clear. He'll do whatever it takes to be here. Let me see my archive stories. I think it was on. Okay. Okay, so here's the one. The Yankees and outfielder Brennan Davis have agreed to a minor league deal. Sources tell Just BB Media. Davis is 25, was one of the best games outfield prospects before a tough stretch of injuries. He is very good. He was very good in AAA. I'm going to actually retweet that and get that up on the screen in a minute. Log in. I got a new phone. Amongst all the things I had to do this week, I got a new phone this morning and everything's fucked up. Anyways, they made this deal. Now, what I'm hearing is that this is going to be like the Trent Grisham replacement. Now, they don't want to pay Trent Grisham $5 million to sit on the bench. It's like, that's a lot of money. So they could pay this kid league minimum to do the same and probably be a little bit better. And the reason I say that, is Trent Grisham, while he's spectacular as a defensive center fielder, he he might not be as great in other places. So this is a guy who could play every outfield position at an elite position, not just one, not just one outfield position at multiple positions. I'm gonna repost it on my story as well. Um, Leig. Okay. Another news, much happier news. Aaron Judge's wife is pregnant, so I don't know if anyone saw the story. Um, but Aaron Judge's wife is with child. It'll be a baby girl. I don't know when she's due. Um, I hope he's due. Like, I hope she's due. I don't know, not anytime soon, or before the season, maybe. I don't know. There were rumors for a while, um, throughout a lot of the regular season, actually. So it's possible. Hopefully it's spring training or something. I don't want missing much time. There were rumors for a while that she was pregnant, and she kind of had a baby bump. No one announced it, but the Post did the other day. And ironically, Shohei Ohtani's wife is pregnant, but every media source posted that today. But nothing on Judge, right? The double standard is crazy in this league. Anyways, much happier news for them. So congrats to Aaron and Samantha Judge on their baby girl. And yeah, so they signed this kid out of other minor leagues. I'm going to put the tweet up now. This was on Christmas Eve, December 24th. I apologize for not sharing it. Normally I share these things on my page. I can probably explain myself. I had people coming over, and we host Christmas Eve every year, the Italian Christmas Eve. So I was kind of busy, and I snuck away for my phone for a few minutes, saw this, quickly put it on Instagram, and carried on with my life because I was getting stuff ready for people. So this is the Torres thing. This is Hot Stove. So Hot Stove, I watched it Monday night, getting ready for Christmas Eve, crab cakes, cooking and helping my mom out and all that stuff. And there was just, I rewatched it later on and the next morning because I'm like, I really didn't get much from it, and there wasn't much to get from it. I'll keep the other side. There wasn't much on Hot Stove, really. That's why I didn't do a live stream. Normally, I'll do a live stream during or after Hot Stove, so I'll probably do one Monday. There's Hot Stove again on Monday, so I'll probably do a live stream on Monday night. We'll see, because I don't know if I'm going to be home. It all depends on my dad and his health. So they agreed on an outfielder, Brennan Davis, minor league deal. He was 25. He has an injury history. Now, aside from the injury history, everything else looks good. As Yankee fans, we know that injuries have stunted the development and growth of a lot of players and prospects that the Yankees have loved over time. This is true. The Yankees really, really like to sign injured players. I don't know what their deal is with signing injured players, but they really like to do it. And they just did it again. I have no problem with it, but if this kid could be good and could play, that'd be even better. If this kid could be good and play, that'd be fantastic. So that's really it in Yankee land. So Ha-Seong Kim was a San Diego Padre, is a free agent, second baseman, a tremendous defender. The offense is not fantastic. I'll be real. The offense isn't amazing. What makes me happy with his offense is the walks, the on-base percentage, and the contact to balls in play were much higher in 24 compared to other years. The hard hit rate was up. So things look like they're going in the right direction. For a guy who's a superior defender, I would probably take that. I would take Ha-Seong Kim. I would leave Jazz at third base. I would take Ha-Seong Kim. Now, my one hesitance with him is he's a right-hander. We kind of need one more lefty. I would love one more lefty. Obviously, Yankee Stadium, you always want to have as many lefties in that lineup as humanly possible because of the short right porch. You want to have lefties in there. But things happen. You can't always get that. So we'll take what we can get, and if it's Ha-Seong Kim, and he could be your leadoff hitter because he gets on base in front of, it's going to be Bellinger and Judge, I'm assuming. He's going to get on base. So it would leave Judge in the 3 hole, which I think is probably good. So a lineup could look like, and I'll put this on the screen in just a second. Let me get a lineup template up here. Just give me a second here. I don't want Volpe batting leadoff. That's another thing that attracts me to this move. Volpe is... I like Anthony Volpe a lot. I've liked his game since coming up. I don't like him as a leadoff hitter at all. So, him not being a good leadoff hitter, is not his fault. It's really not his fault at all. I would rather have someone who I could trust in leadoff than have Volpe there. Not that I don't like him. I would just rather have someone who we know is proven to be good enough to do leadoff than have Anthony Volpe, who is not proven to do it and might not be good enough. This lineup is very dynamic. I really actually don't hate this lineup, and I'll put it up on the screen in just a second. This lineup is kind of getting to a point where it's dynamic. We only need one more position, right? Dominguez is going to be in center. Okay. And then Wells will probably bat ninth then, because it's going to be Chisholm. Third base. Okay, hold on. All right, so this is right now what I think the opening day lineup would look like with Kim in it. And I have to say, I like it. If this is the lineup with that pitching staff and that bullpen that we were handed on opening day, I'm not going to lie, I would love this. I really would. This is a really good lineup. This is a deeper lineup than last year. Wells was your cleanup hitter. Now he's batting ninth. You can have Volpe rocking out in the 8 hole. If you want to swap the lineup out and put Wells 7, Chisholm 8, Volpe 9, that's an option. Obviously, if you want to swap Chisholm and Dominguez, that's an option. That'd probably actually be what Boone would do. Knowing the way Boone manages. Obviously, Kim is not on the team. So before you say Yankee Content Central said Kim's on the team, Kim is not on the team. This is what the lineup should look like, or something like this, if Kim was on the team. Keep in mind I post lineups that look exactly like this every day when the lineups come out. So if you want up-to-date lineups, follow on Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky maybe. Still trying to figure that out. Facebook and Instagram at Yankees Content Central. I'll be updating all things all the time. All these news things that I'm sharing, all these graphics, all these tweets have been or will be posted to Yankees Content Central, whether it's on my story, whether it's in my feed, it'll be there. Excuse me. So this is what a starting lineup would be. Now, another one I saw, and he can play second base, Jerkson Profar. He can play pretty much anywhere on the infield and in the outfield. He can play. Um, I I would look at him. He might require a lot of years. Excuse me. Kim's stock might have taken a dip because of what Torres just got. And obviously, let's be real here. Torres' hitting is better than Kim's. Kim's defense is better than Torres. If you put the two into one, it's a superstar. But that's not reality. We can't do that. So I would take Kim's defense and leadoff ability to get on base over Gleyber Torres' leadoff ability to get on base and power, but shitty defense that's costing you games. Because at the end of the day, American League just got wide. The AL is wide ass open right now. If you're the Yankees, if you're Brian Cashman, if you're Aaron Boone, you're Hal Steinbrenner, Fisher, Randy Levine, whoever, you name it. If you are that person, if you are a coach, a front office member, a scout, you are sitting back right now in your chair with your feet up on your desk saying, it looks good on paper, even though paper can crumble. It looks pretty damn good on there. We have options. LeMahieu, I don't think he's going to be I don't want them starting him. If they start him, we got problems. Now, if it's a spot start because of an injury, fine. If it's like, all right, we're going to give Jazz a day, we'll put LeMahieu in. Or we're going to give, Goldie a day, we'll put him in. And Rice is catching because we're giving Wells a day as well. Well, I think they should opt for Cabrera. I'm not going to piss, moan, and bitch about it. As long as that's like maybe once a week or once a month or like once a year or like never. I understand he's a member of the team. He is not the DJ LeMahieu that he used to be. And I don't want to see him anymore. He shouldn't be starting. He should be on the bench, regulated to the bench, there for veteran leadership, or they should try and move him to Oakland. I think they should try and realistically move him and Stroman to Oakland, or one to Miami and one to Oakland. Both teams that are in trouble. Both teams. Excuse me. Oh my God. Both teams are in the shit right now. We don't know what's going on because neither team has payroll. And these owners next year are voting with the CBA in the start of 2026. There's a real chance, folks, that there's going to be a lockout ahead of 26, and there's going to be a salary cap and a salary floor. I'm a big advocate for both. Now, people will be like, "You're a Yankee fan." Well, I was born in 05, all right? I'm not a Yankee fan that was alive when George was spending so much money. Now I hear stories from family. I watch documentaries, I read books. I'm currently reading The Yankee Way by Andy Martino. I'm kind of in the middle of that book. Love it. I'm not a big reader at all. I watch a lot of TV. I'm not a big reader. Love that book. So if you're not a big reader, you love the Yankees, and you want to learn more about scouting and how they draft and develop prospects over time, that's a fantastic book to read. Also fun stories. A lot of cursing, which I liked. I was kind of shocked about, but I like it. Anyways, where was I going with that? So that's how they draft and develop prospects and stuff like that. In that book, Kim would fit what they want for second base. Torres really didn't fit what they wanted, and they alluded to that in the book. Actually, by name, they alluded to Torres not fitting the profile of player. He would have fit third base a lot better had they moved him there earlier in his career. This might have happened, but LeMahieu shouldn't be starting in any capacity whatsoever in 2025. Not one bit. He should be on the bench, and that's about it. He should not be anywhere near starting. With the pitching the Yankees have, with the defense so far behind them, second base or third base, obviously they're going to go for strong defender. I don't see Bregman here. I see Kim as more of a possibility, if anything, of being here. I'm gonna say there's gonna be strong defense and less offense. That bullpen is fucking nails. Like, if we're in a postseason series, and I know this backfired on Cleveland in the playoffs, they also didn't hit at all in the ALCS. Cleveland never hit. Like, they got guys on but couldn't hit ever, except Big Christmas, or hitting a home run off of Clay Holmes, which whoop-de-fucking do. Pretty much half the league did that this past season. So I'm really, I still hate that game. It was the one ALCS game my dad and I didn't watch together, and I blame him on that loss, but whatever. I really think the American League is so wide open that no other team is good enough. Like the Yankees, some AL teams have gotten worse. Baltimore has gotten worse. Toronto has gotten worse. All right, Toronto hasn't signed anyone. Now, I guess they made a very good bid for Burns, record-breaking deal, and and he was like, no. Santander does not want to go there. He wanted to come to the Yankees. That's probably not happening. So I would get that out of the heads of the Yankee fans. Unless he can play second base, I don't see that happening. I can totally see them moving Stroman and LeMahieu. I think they're trying to move both. I think that's why they're talking up LeMahieu not being done, because they want to move him somewhere, which would be fantastic. Because you move him to a non-contender that doesn't spend, like move him to Miami or Oakland or Sacramento, wherever the hell they are this week. Move him there to a team that doesn't spend much and just figure it out from there. That's what the Yankees need to do right now, is just figure out their problems and get stuff done. I think a lot of what's going on right now is figuring out how to eliminate the payroll, which obviously they made that trade away Trevino and got that good reliever who's okay. The strikeouts I liked, the ERA I didn't. He was also in Great American Small Park last year and his whole career. So the ball kind of flies out of there. That based on park factor with StatCast is the number one hitters park. Yankee Stadium is 19. So all this talk about short porch and Minnie Mouse Park, Mini Park, Mickey Mouse Park, whatever they called it, or Bob Costas and Ron Darling during the ALDS, where it's like, well, fly ball pretty much gets in the air and gets out here, after the Torres home run, and then they followed it up next inning, and they like shut up, but because Torres hit it, it's like it wouldn't be a home run anywhere. Yeah, okay, fine, I kind of get it, but what I'm saying is that you're gonna have a pitcher who hasn't pitched in more of a pitcher-friendly park. Yankee Stadium's not really a pitcher-friendly park, but it's more pitcher-friendly than Great American Family Field and half the league, apparently. So he's going to have a lot better of a time in Yankee Stadium. Sorry. So Yankee Stadium has a better park factor than other parks, which makes it more attractive for pitchers who want to go there. So, like, Max Fried, who keeps the ball on the ground, that's good. Marcus Stroman, while he kept the ball on the ground, also kept it in the air a lot, and that kind of bit him. He had a better ERA on the road than he did at home, and that reflected in the short porch. So now you're getting a pitcher who, excuse me, oh my God, is not used to being in hitter-friendly parks and might thrive in one. And obviously the Matt Blake pitching lab's going to fix him up real good. So I'm excited for this kid. I really like the move. I like taking a resource. Love Jose Trevino. Love him a lot. But there comes a time where you need to move on and make a business decision. And this is what that was. This was a business decision for the Yankees. We have a guy who's very valued and loved in that clubhouse. but we need to make a move, and we need to shore up that bullpen. You know, one of the things that bit us in that game 5, the defense sucked. The bullpen sucked. Let's talk about that for a minute. No one really talks about that. Mark Leiter Jr. was good. No one else was. Canley blew the game. Weaver looked like shit, and I'm a huge fan of him. Love him, and I'd take him anytime, anywhere. But he shit the bed in that game. Like, he didn't allow a run, but he shit the bed. And that's what happens when you're overtired. And that's about it. So I'm gonna try and do my regular stream on Monday night or Tuesday night. It depends on what's going on in my personal life. I should, praying, be back to normal streams Wednesday, New Year's Day. If everything goes well, hopefully New Year's Day I'll be back to regular streaming. But I'll keep everyone updated on my Instagram of when I'm streaming next, and when X, I'll tweet it out as well. So thank you very much, and have a great day.